I am going to see how this works for me following along on Facebook and on YouTube. You see how this works. Oh, got everything turned up. Good afternoon, good evening. How are you today? I am Ronnette Branham with Empowered Educators with Ronnette Branham. And this podcast is here for educators, as we know, educators to get some insights, some inspiration to keep on going, some motivation, some strategies, and just so all around support. Whatever we need here, just this is here. This is a community that I want to us to be able to come to and get answers and offer strategies, insights. We're all, as teachers, we go through a lot and we learn a lot. So this is where we are. So thank you for joining me, my lone viewer. I appreciate it. I'm wondering how come it's not showing up. I don't know how to make this show up on my stuff. I really don't. I wish I did. Uh, how to make this thing go live on Facebook. How can I see it? I don't know. But I can try it. But I don't know how to do that. That's so silly. Seems like I should just be able to click on my page and I'm good. But I don't know how that works. Um, maybe somebody could tell me one day how it works. I don't know. And on YouTube, I don't know what's happening over there. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So I just want to get started and see what it is, what I want to talk about. I want to just talk about positive behavior support. I know I posted something where I talked about I had that mastered positive behavior support. I took courses after courses, class after class, professional development after professional development, so I had that kind of down. I understood it and I was using it. And I knew certain words to say and certain words not to say to, to get your students to comply or be complicit in, the classroom atmosphere. We won't say, um, if you don't follow this, you're not going outside. We already know that. We say, if you want to go outside, you're going to get in line or whatever, say it in a positive manner. Whoever wants to go outside is in line nicely. We don't say things in a negative way in the classroom. We know that, had that down pat. Then something happened, something starts shifting little by little. And you know how sometimes you talk to people and you talk to people, and sometimes people give you what's in their head, even though it doesn't match with what like I was talking to someone and they were saying about the behaviors in my classroom. I don't even know if I want to say it, but I'm really, it's just something that is on me where someone asked me, how long are you going to keep, taking that? And I was like, well, what are you supposed to do? I don't send kids. I'm one of those who never sent kids. This year is like something, not this year, I say last year. 1 year. 1 year, I began sending students to the principal, to the counselor, to out of the classroom. I never did that. That was something that I just didn't do because why? We can fix it in here. Like, what is that going to do? Is that helping the students? The students coming back the same way they left? I don't get it. So I had to go back, and this is something I'm working on right now. Is going back to that positive, and I have rewards. Like we have these animal food erasers that you could take apart, like puzzle erasers. You could take them apart, put them back together, and I had to go back to my language, that positive behavior support, because I was focusing on the negative, 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 and the class wasn't running smoothly, and I was internalizing that negative. It just it takes a toll on you, and I don't want to be like that. I'm like, what is happening here? I want to be happy coming to work. I actually like what I do, and I don't want to be frustrated, and let the students come in and control me and control my day. That it just has been bothering me, because I used to come in smiling all the time. I had that personality. I'm speaking to everybody. Then it became, I don't even, like, I'm sitting in my classroom. I don't want to go out and talk. I don't even want to be bothered. But um I had to go back to what I knew, what I've been trained to do, what I know 100% works. Like, why are you doing something that you don't know work? I just, sometimes we ease into those things. We ease back into listening to other people, taking other people's advice, or doing what other people do. And 9 times out of 10, the person that's telling you that's not doing that, they're not saying what they are telling you they would say. They're not. You walk past them, and then they're like, "Sweetie, this and I like how you're standing in line. I like what you're doing," that kind of thing. And so I had to get back to that, because I can't walk around just frustrated. Okay, I walk in my classroom. I speak to every student every morning. That's been my practice forever. I ask them, how are they doing. I remember last year I had so many stories about how they're doing. Even this year, students not so good, a little bit this and a little bit that. Then I have some students who don't even speak. They're grumpy coming in. So how do I have the right to internalize that when I know they need a good day? I have to go back and see what is happening. Why are they like this? What is this? They're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Everybody frustrated. Then it's spilling over to the whole entire class. It's not cool. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So that's just something that I had to go back to, and actually, it's working. I'm telling you, I had students who disrupt the class, just disrupt the class. It's horrible. And I had to go back to what I know, and it's so much better. I don't even care if it's 1 day, 2 days, whatever. It's so much better. It just feels better. Um, so I need to stop looking at numbers. I keep looking at numbers, and I know it has nothing to do with me. So I have to go back. I have to. That's another thing. Positive behavior support. I needed to speak to my own self. You know, this is what you want to do. Do it. Don't worry about anything else, because it's inevitable that you're going to succeed. It's inevitable that your class is going to flow well with this positive behavior support. So just worry about that. Don't worry about it. Just do it and know that this is what works. So I just have to say, you have to get back to that. And I want to say, what I'm talking about, positive behavior support, like I actually said what it was. It's a framework. It's a framework where we promote positive behavior while minimizing negative ones. I heard a guy this morning on my way to work, and he was talking about, we have negative self-talk, positive self-talk. We could talk ourselves into anything or out of anything just by our thoughts. What we're saying to ourselves. That's not going to work. Why it won't work? And then you'll come up with all kind of reasons that something won't work. You'll say, I'm not having a good day, and you'll come up with all these reasons why your day is not good. Things, you will get evidence of all that negativity. But at the same time, however we're supposed to say that, you'll have positive self-talk, like, this is great, you're doing great, you're doing wonderful, you're doing exactly what you want to do, your students are behaving well, your students are well behaved, your class environment, you have everything that you need. And then guess what? You'll start seeing evidence of that. It took me a minute to understand. Now, I understood positive behavior support. I watched it happen, and I know, like I said, 100% that works. I don't know what I do know what happens. Sometimes you start focusing on one thing, and then you let other things in. But I'll go back to what the guy today, he was talking about. His name is Price something. I forgot. He has the book U Squared, but it's about Is it better to have more positivity, more positive self-talk, or less negative self-talk? So they're not on the same plane. They're not on the same line, linear. They're not opposite each other. Just because I have more positive self-talk doesn't mean I have less negative self-talk, like it's moving. No, it doesn't work like that. It is two different planes. Less negative self-talk. And when I say negative, it's opposite of what your plans are, opposite of where you're trying to go. So if I say I want to have a great day, but I keep on talking about all the things that are going wrong, how can I have a great day? And just because I have more positive about me saying the day is great, students are acting better, that doesn't mean that I'm going to do less negative. So you just want less negative, and then more positive. So that's something we need to work on. We need to work on it with our students because they need it. I don't know where you work, but I work in Trenton. Am I supposed to say that? Like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that over the air. But I work in a city, I don't know how we call it, inner city. I don't know what we call it. But I work in the economic status is lower and the students need more. They're needy. So why am I being negative and giving them that negative energy back when that's not what they need? That's not what they need. Not just more positive, more positive, more motivation, more positive behavior support, but I need to cut down that. I mean, eliminate as much as I can. That you don't want to listen. You're not listening. You're not following directions. You keep yelling out. That just breeds yelling out. That just breeds telling the students, I need you stop getting up, walking around while the lesson going. That just breeds people hopping up. It's more of what do we need to do? Let's demonstrate. What do we need to do when there's a lesson happening? We need to raise our hands if we're going to answer. We need to raise our hands if we need to get up. We need to raise our hands if we need to sharpen our pencil. Why not? Just set the atmosphere. And that's what I'm learning. I say I'm learning. I already knew it. It's just that, like I said, you start losing things when you're getting caught up in all these other things that are happening. You're getting caught up in what's not going right. So you're seeing everything that's not going right. So that's just something. I remember a person told me, a coach told me, what I see in somebody is it's like me projecting, and I'm forcing him. I'm like, no, that's not true, because I'm nothing like that, ladies. And she was like, well, what it is, what you see in them is how you are. And I'm like, no, there's nothing about that person that is like me, nothing. But at the same time, I was focusing on that negative. I could have just not even thought about her. I could have just thought about good and forget about this person. Like I can ignore people. We all know how to ignore people, but I was focusing on it. And then it's like, you say, but this is what I'm seeing through my eyes, how I'm looking. And it wasn't cool. It wasn't good. Just, focusing on that negativity. It wears on you. It's not healthy. That's how come we have a lot of sicknesses, because we're focusing on that negative, that we're in that complaining mode, that is just not cool in our classroom. So positive behavior support is a multi-tier. It fits in with a multi-tier system of supports, interventions that allow educators to target and aid their students. Our students need help. Sometimes if we sit back and focus on what the student is needing, what kind of behavior it is, why, we could have a student, and I had a student who every time it's time to read or it's reading, this child would act up. She would be all over the place, acting up, yelling out, doing things that is, unseemly and is not conducive to learning, and it wasn't conducive for the class. The class couldn't even learn, and then me keep responding to her didn't work, because then nobody's getting anything done. So I had to go back to that old positive behavior support. I like how you're raising your hand, such and such. I like how you answered that question. I like how you waited your turn. And and then when I see somebody doing work, the behavior that we want, we want the students raising their hand when they want to answer. We want the students sitting, not just raising their hand, because we have students raising their hand, Miss Branham, at the same time. That doesn't work. So then they're answering a question. I give them, we have these erasers, like I said, give them these erasers. They're puzzle erasers. The kids are comparing, they're trying to stretch them out across their desk and have a collection. They love it, or they're enjoying it. And so do that. And then when you have students who are not paying attention in the class because they're doodling, they're looking, I have daydreamers like you would not believe, who are just daydreaming while you're teaching a lesson. They're like, they don't even get what the problem is because they're just not paying attention. But when I start pulling out prizes, everybody's sitting up straight paying attention. And it is positive behavior support. You're answering questions. Here you go. This is what you get for answering questions. And that it works. Everybody wants a prize. I teach second grade. So I can imagine eighth graders, high schoolers, they want the same thing. We like to be rewarded. We like to be rewarded. And then that is going to cause them to take in more of what you're teaching. You're teaching a lesson. You want them to learn about shapes. I had students, we're talking about shapes. Students are shapes out. We're going to learn about shapes. How are you second grade and you understand that learning about shapes sounds babyish? Like, how do you understand it sounds babyish? That, to me, because I understood what we were about to learn. We were going to learn polygons. We were going to learn cubes and prisms. They like triangles and squares. They think they know everything. So they were making a joke out of it. And now it's like, I got that answer. And then they're answering and they're excited about it. I got 100. If they don't get 100 on their quiz, we have this online quiz every single day with the math lessons. They don't get it. Miss Brian, could you send me that back? Because they want the reward. They want to be, I got 100, 5 questions every day. They want that. And it's so exciting for them. And I'm telling you, positive behavior support works 100% in a general ed classroom. Now, if you have some extreme behaviors, there's different levels of it where you have to gear, the support to the student that needs more intensive, strategies. You may have to do certain things for that child. But in general, overall, with the general class, you usually can bring everybody in with the first tier 1. Second tier, it may be a little bit more extensive where you have to stand next to a child when you're asking questions. That way, when you move into close proximity with that child, then they'll be more prone to sit up because they see or they feel that you're watching what they're doing. Even if you don't say anything. And a lot of times, like I said, our students have issues that we are getting upset with this behavior. I had a child who she would act up so bad. It was just crazy. I know that's not the word to use, but I don't know another word. This crazy could mean a lot of things. It could mean something that's crazy, that's fabulous. Like that was crazy. You believe that happened? So I could say crazy. It not calling the child crazy, but the issue, the symptoms were out of this world. And just act up. I had to sit down and think, well, why is this child acting like this? The child couldn't reads at kindergarten level, couldn't read, and they feel frustrated. They know they can't read what we're reading. And instead of sitting there and going through it and waiting until the small group, then we could work together. During the large group, it just was frustrating. They were frustrated, acting up. Then I was frustrated because they were acting up, disturbing the class, yelling out, saying all kind of it just was frustrated situation. But I had to get to the bottom of it. There's more besides that, besides the child not being able to read and feeling inadequate. But there's, a lot of emotional things going with it. But there's one thing that I can help fix. I could say, okay, well, let me relax because I see what's happening here. I see that this child needs a little bit more because they feel inadequate. They feel like they can't do what other people can do. So that's one thing. And then sometimes the behavior is because we are tense. We are tense because we already are bracing ourselves for that hammer to drop. And because we're tense, they're already ready to go to 100. We have to calm down. We have to relax. It's not even will this work? It's not, because I know the Bible talks about a soft answer. Let me turns away wrath, right? We already know that, and that is 100% true. 100. Unless you have a person that is really having some issues emotionally, then they need another level of it. They need some intervention outside of you. They need some intervention, maybe from a counselor, or you need extra support to be able to deal with it, to work through it, right? So we could set routines in our classroom. And I came in Monday. We're fresh. I came in Monday. I planned this episode last week, and I knew I came in Monday. This is what we're going to do. We have some rules every morning. Now back again. We're discussing rules. So give me some rules that are in this classroom. Students have the rules, so there's no, oh, they don't know the rules, because they're answering. They're giving me what the rules are. So let's abide by them. When they see me passing out prizes for somebody following those rules, there's no question. There's no getting upset because I didn't do it, because I didn't get a prize. Oh, well, everybody who did what they were supposed to do right away, they got a prize. That's how it has to work. And then it's not necessarily ignoring that behavior, but the behaviors will be less. They will become less. I promise you, I didn't have the behaviors. I had a little bit, but after yesterday and today, I didn't have the behaviors that I've been having. And I promise you 100%, these behaviors were outrageous. And just following a routine, setting rules in place and following them, being diligent, doing what I say I'm going to do. And it's not even in a negative way. You're following the rules. Here you go. You got in line. Look at these people getting in line all nice and quietly, getting ready to walk in this hallway nice and quietly. Everybody starts getting quiet. Not everybody. There's some that take a minute. But then you say it enough, people are paying attention. You hand out a prize or some sort, or you offer some kind of incentive. Oh, you get 5 minutes on your computer, or you get 5 minutes for a brain break. Oh, everybody doesn't get a brain break. No. What you need a brain break for? You weren't even working. I almost said something else. You don't need a brain break. You need it to be working, right? You haven't been working. These people are working. Oh, little boy over there, sir, mister, here, go get your computer, or go get those magnets and those magnetiles. What do you want to do? Go get you some paper and some crayons. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes. Everybody else looking. They're straightening out. Then you could even do signals after a while, maybe especially for that one child that you had a conversation with, you conference with. You may give them something where you say, when I do whatever hand signal, they only know that means for me to straighten up, because I'm veering off to the right or to the left, or whichever way you're trying to go. They're going the opposite direction. That is something. And then, or you could just say, call their name. You can call their name without having a whole sentence after it. You could say, you're saying, this answer is 576. Isn't that right, Johnny? Right? All of a sudden they hear their name. They're like, huh? What? Next time they're going to be ready, because they don't know what you said. Next time they're going to be ready. I think that's positive behavior support, even though they might have not been doing what they want, but I didn't point it out, because I can point out some stuff and it doesn't work. It does not work. Pointing out. Oh, you keep yelling out. Oh my goodness. I'm like, Lord Jesus, this is me in the classroom. You can't do that. Like, it doesn't work. Oh Lord. these kids, all that kind of stuff. No, you can't, because it doesn't work. I never seen, I'm not gonna say I never seen. I think I've seen you use negativity and get the students in line to a certain extent. But if you don't follow through with it, it doesn't work. Okay, you'll be inside with me at eating lunch. You'll be inside with me eating lunch, not with your friends, sitting here, not talking, eating lunch until it's time for you to go outside or whatever. If you don't do it, because if I say something like that, I don't mean it, because I don't want you sitting upstairs and with me. I want to walk around. I want to talk. I want to talk to other teachers. I want to make a video. I want to do some work. I don't want, so me saying that, kids don't even care. They're like, she did whatever. I didn't say in the last time. One time this year, did one person eat lunch with me because they didn't feel like they're supposed to follow directions and they want to keep talking. Now you can't eat with your friends. They went outside at recess because you're not going to stay with me the whole time. Plus, you need recess because otherwise you're acting up more because you need to get rid of that energy. But no. Now they think it's a good thing to come upstairs with Miss Branham at lunchtime. You can come upstairs and play and eat and then go outside. But no, I don't want that. So I'm not giving threats that I don't mean, that I'm not going to follow through with. Giving those, so it's better to give positive reinforcements. It's better to offer rewards for the good, and then that will cause somebody else to want to follow along. It happens. Or how about this? I heard somebody say this. It was it was cool to me. You got this child who can't sit still, don't want to sit still. They're just all over the place. How about you take this note to Miss Sanchez down the hall, or or Miss Monroe up at the other end of the hallway? Give her this note, right? I saw people take the notes. I heard of people taking notes saying, "Could you give me 5 minutes? He needs 5 minutes." That's all the note might have said, or ask for something that you need and you could wait for it. Send them down. Can you do me a favor? Because I know you're responsible enough to walk down there, take her this note, and bring back with the tape that I asked for, the hand sanitizer, whatever I need. You could follow, give them a task to do. Can you pass out these papers? That might not work for everybody, because some people passing out papers, that's a distraction. But can you stack up these books? Can you straighten up these books? Because people put these books back all over the place. They sometimes need to get rid of some energy. Probably sometimes, I know I've been to lunchrooms and students have to sit quietly. I'm like, they have to sit all day in the classroom. Now they have to go to lunch and they can't talk, because you really can't. You can talk when you're working on things in my classroom. You can. I don't have a problem with kids talking. So you're talking, you're working together, but in a lot of classrooms you can't. You're working on your own or something, or you only talk at this turn and talk time. Every other time you go in somebody's classroom, they're quiet. Everybody's sitting still. Nobody's moving. Nobody's up. Right? Then they go to the cafeteria. So sometimes the students need to breathe. They need to walk around. I give brain breaks. Like the whole class, 5 minutes. 5 minutes a lot turn to 10. And they're like, what? That was only 1 minute. No, it wasn't, because you actually had 10. So what are you talking about? Plus they need brain breaks. I need a brain break. I need time to gather the math. It's time for math. As soon as literacy is up, it's time for math. And then I have all this stuff that I have to open up on the computer. And it's like, you really don't have that time. That's when they get that brain break. They need it. Sometimes students need it. They need it. They need to relax. They can't just go all day. And then you are expecting them to sit in their seat. Sometimes we're causing the behaviors, if you really want to think about it. When kids have to sit still, I hear people say it all the time about sitting still. No. What? I have kids standing up working. Now, if you're distracting people or disturbing people, that's a different story. But no, you try sitting for 3 hours at a time. I can't do it. I don't know about you guys. I can't. Maybe you can, but I can't. That's just something I already know is not in my DNA. Maybe it was before I became a preschool teacher. When I was teaching preschool, we had to move every 20 minutes. Now I think it's 10 to 15. So now I can't. And then watching TV, when you used to watch TV, they had commercials I forgot how, I don't know if it was 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, they had a commercial on your favorite show. I don't even have that kind of TV anymore, so I don't know. But we need, especially to talk, that positive phrasing, you know, that positive phrasing, instead of saying, if you, I said that already, but that's probably one of the most important things. If you want to go outside, get in line. If you want a brain break, you will be working right now. You're not getting a brain break because you're not following directions. All they hear is not following directions. I'm not getting a brain break. I have kids will have a meltdown. You say I'm not getting a brain break. Then they're not going to want to work. It doesn't work. I'm talking about months of frustration, weeks of frustration, of the students being frustrated, me being frustrated, they're not following along, and me threatening. You can't. It does not. I promise you, it doesn't work. And I know 100% positive behavior, positive phrasing works. It works. They're like, what? And rewards work. It doesn't even have to be you spending your money, because I don't spend that much money for those erasers or stickers. Kids like stickers. Oh, I did my work. You know what I do? Let them check their work on their own. Like for math, I keep the teacher's book open. I make sure they did it. I check it, make sure it looks like it's on the right track. Go check it. After I already checked it, I see that it's at 100 or whatever, almost. They check it, get a sticker, put a sticker on it. They're excited to do that. I get more work done when they're putting their own stickers on their paper than when I forget all about the stickers for a couple of weeks. They're like, they forgot. They never finished their work. But when they see people putting stickers on their own paper, they're excited and they're ready to finish. They're ready to get done so that they could check their work and put it. All that kind of stuff. Offering extra time for something. Offering group work. They like working together. Most students do, some don't. They don't want to work with. I remember I had a student, he didn't want to work with anybody. I would give him somebody, he would say, no, he's making it take too long. Is he slowing me down? All that kind of stuff. So some like it and some don't. But offer what you know they like. They might want to read. You have extra 5 minutes to go read when you get finished. You got extra, you can draw a picture, whatever it is that you can offer for that behavior, to have less of those behaviors in your classroom, because we could walk around frustrated. And I don't know. I know I have some people, if you have a question, not a question, a comment, I don't know what kind of question, because we already know this stuff, whether we're doing it or not, or whether we're falling in line with somebody else, because that is what happens. That's what happened to me. Listening to people and saying, oh, well, okay, I could do that. No, that's frustrating, and I'm internalizing that stuff, and then I'm not happy. I have to keep sending a child out. No, I'm going to fix this thing. I heard somebody say, I had Patrick Briggs here, and he's talked about that relationship building. And I don't even necessarily believe that you have to have the relationship building. What I think and what I've found is work is that positive behavior support, whether you have a relationship with the person or not. That positive behavior support work for anybody, whether they like you or not. They want a prize. They want to be rewarded for their good. Who doesn't? We all want to be rewarded for our good. So that is something that I find that works. I don't know. I have also you could get other people on board. The parents on board, the counselors in the school, the principals, other teachers. If your teacher, students trade classes, discuss, brainstorm, have a little mastermind. I'm talking about a mastermind. I want to get together with some teachers and mastermind for next school year. I really do. So look for that coming, where I'm going to find some people. We sit down and mastermind of strategies and things that we could do that to make our lives better. I know we want to educate our students because that's what we have to do anyway, but I want to make my life better. What can we do? this is one thing that's going to make your life better. It's not harder because you don't have to write down unless you have some kind of directives from somebody talking about, like INRS or something telling you that this strategy worked. That's something different. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about yourself to make your life better in your classroom, to make your students' life. So just you get more work done, that kind of thing. So it's going to increase. I promise you. You try it. If you don't try it, if you haven't tried it, at least changing your language, not how we saying no when you talk to your child, always saying no. You can rephrase things. So what are you saying? You're asking me whatever. Instead of saying no, say, if you do this or when you get this done, then you can have such and such, or whatever it is. Yes, you can work together once you finish 2 questions. I do that. You do solve 2 equations on this class work, then you can work with a partner. But until you work on 2, no, you're not. So I see how I said that. I kind of messed it up. But at the same time, when you solve 2 equations, then you work with your partner. That's how it goes. That's what it has been always. Now they kind of get like, okay, we're just going to start working together because I know she lets us. But no, you have to first work on your work. So you want to get some more work done. You want to get more work out of your students. You want to get the better behaviors out of your students. That positivity. I know the Bible talks about if you want a friend, be friendly. That and about your harsh words. Turn away wrath. All that. It really, when we say biblical strategies, they work. It's just like it's talking about think on these things. Those things that are positive. Thinking on the things, you're going to have a better life. I promise you. And I'm going to reiterate it's not about saying more positive to counteract the negative. It's about saying less negative. Stop. Less negative. Stop that. Sit down. I'm going to call your mom. You're not going outside. You're not getting a brain break. That it doesn't work. It might work for a minute. It might work one day, especially if you follow through. But again, that's you will internalize that negativity. Your brain doesn't know the difference. It knows you're spewing out something negative. Your brain doesn't know the difference, who you're talking to. It doesn't. So we need to give more positive, less negative. More positive, less negative. The same amount of positive, less negative. Less negative is what you're trying to get rid of. You're trying to get rid of that. You're not going outside. I'm calling your mom. Instead of, I want to give your mom a great report. How about that? At the end of the day, the end of the week, I want to give your mom a great report. I want to tell her how great you were doing all week. Don't you think that'll go over better than saying, you don't listen, I'm calling your mom. You don't follow directions, I'm calling your mom. That doesn't work because it doesn't work. Because moms don't have time for that nonsense. For real. I don't have any kids. My daughter's grown. But I don't. What you want? I don't know what you want. That's your business and their business. But for real, parents don't care unless they're that parent. And that child is not acting up in your classroom. There is not. So you just watch what you say, because death and life are in the power of death and life are in our tongue. In what we say. So you want your kids. We want our students to want to work. We want our students to want to learn. We want our students to love school, because they have to be there for the next however many years. We're there because we volunteered. We didn't volunteer, but we're there because this is our goal, our life goal, to be a teacher. This is what we plan to do, and we're fulfilling what we plan to do. Students didn't ask for that. So make their day more pleasurable, your day more. When you set out to make somebody's day pleasurable, you're going to have a pleasurable day. If you set out to have goals that you can meet and everybody can meet, you your day is going to be better. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I know just continue to reinforce that positive behavior. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I promise you. In just 2 days, I see a difference. I mean, you don't understand what I've been going through last year. Last year, not this school year. This school year, I'm good. But at the same time, reinforcing that positive behavior, speaking positively to your students, um, using proximity again, walking close to a child, maybe touch their shoulder, they're doing work. You might say, "Oh, I like what you're doing there. I like how you solved that," or even ask them questions. How did you solve that? Students love for you to talk to them. Johnny, how did you solve that equation? Because you got it right, but I just need you to tell me how you did that. That is, you don't understand. Better than saying, okay, you did it, or better than saying, yeah, you got it right. It's better to give some kind of positive feedback, and the student's going to want to keep on performing, at that level. That praise goes a long way. I know it works for us, so it works for them. Not saying we want rewards, we want some money. We all want some more money if we're teachers, but that positive, um, uh, that positive feedback, though, that praise and the rewards, using rewards does work. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you ever tried it. I don't know if you ever tried it, but using rewards really works if you're using it correctly. Students are answering the questions, paying attention, and you like, here you go. Like you got that. I have it. It's like I don't want to say what I want to say. Like it's just rewards. You give a reward for somebody doing right. I'm in math. I have students who don't want to pay attention and read, and they don't want to pay attention. All of a sudden, I bring out my toys, my prizes. I start offering things. Everybody's paying attention. It works. It absolutely does work. Um, I can't even. I can't even say that it doesn't. I've tried it, and I've been teaching for a long time. I did fall off, and because I fell off, it wasn't working for me. It was causing me anxiety, causing me stress, causing me headaches because I'm focusing on the negative. And when I keep saying the negative, is whatever is not conducive to learning, whatever is going in the opposite direction of what you're trying to do. Because a student answering out is not necessarily negative, but if you're trying to teach and they just keep yelling out at the same time, that's the opposite of what you're trying to do. There might be times when your students, um, they absolutely are. There might be times when you want the students. When I'm in small group, my students, I don't want them raising their hand. There's only 4 of you, 5 at the most. No, we're not raising hands right here. But when it's the whole class, the whole group, everybody, no, you have to raise your hand. You can't yell out because you can't hear the other person talking. You can't. Like it doesn't. It's not conducive to learning. So that's the negative. But it's positive. Not raising your hand in a small group because it feels like we're a group and we're working together. See the difference when if you're working, if you're in a small group, uh let's feel like we're together here and there's just us. But if it's the whole class, it gets chaotic. So remember, model that. Wait for somebody to finish talking and then answer them. Like that. Model that, and the students will follow. So I don't want to hold you. I mean, this could go on and on and on. And I used to do the shows for 40 minutes and they have been going over. But today, I mean, I could keep on going. But just one more thing. Sometimes there are consequences, and make sure the consequence matches the behavior. You understand? The consequence matches the behavior. Child is running around not doing the work. No, they're not getting a brain break. See that consequence? That consequence doesn't require them to stay in from recess. Nothing requires them to stay for recess unless they're fighting, But you know what I mean. Might not require you sending them out of the classroom. So again, I just want to say thank you. This is Empowered Educators with Ronnette Branham, here to offer strategies. And I am here committed to offering a vibrant and supportive community for all educators, especially those in with the foundation in faith. Whether or not you do, all these principles come from, you could go find principles, strategies coming from biblical background. So I know that we want to be excellent in everything that we do. We want to be excellent in our work, in our educating. We want our students to be educated, leave there knowing something. You want a classroom that's conducive for learning. And I just want to say again, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. When I say share with another teacher. Contact me. I'm telling you, we're going to have a mastermind. I have to sit down with myself and see how we're going to make this work. How it's going to work I want to sit down, and whether it's live or behind closed doors, however it works, some kind of community building structure for us to go into our next school year ready to work. So again, thank you and have a great day.